Hey everyone, Brendan Wiltsey here. I am out on Duck Blind Island on Lake Champlain on the Vermont side. It's just north of Vergennes in North Ferrisburgh, Vermont. And this is a little island and camp that my family has owned for many generations. And I have the pleasure this week of spending about a week out here. It's getting towards the end of my stay. I've been photographing the sunset, wildlife. It's an incredible place for photography and wildlife viewing and relaxing. I'm going to take you on a short adventure today to see if I can get some shots of great egrets, great blue herons, osprey, maybe some bald eagles. And what I'm going to be doing today is I have my waders on, and I'm going to be wading through a marsh area. And should be a little bit interesting to see how this works out with having my, I have my big Nikon 200 to 500 millimeter on my D70-200. Have that around my shoulder, but I'm also going to be carrying this video camera along on a tripod. So hopefully I don't destroy any equipment today. That is a possibility. Okay, so I'm out in the marsh right now, and of course, as luck would have it, as soon as I get out a little ways, it started to rain. So I'm hoping that it's not gonna really let loose, and that I can just hang out a little bit and wait for this to pass. I am sort of between two locations that I want to photograph. There's a sort of mud flat over here that has a couple herons, great blue herons on it. There also are egrets out there on occasion, so I might get some shots of great egrets. Behind the camera over in this direction is a location where osprey nest. We also see or have seen some juvenile bald eagles hanging out in trees up there, and great blue herons in the trees, black-crowned night herons along the shoreline, and they tend to be there in the evening time. So there's a lot of stuff right in this area, a lot of good opportunity. Just hoping that I get a break in the rain so that I can keep photographing for you. I am in the middle of this marsh area right near where the osprey nest, and at this point I think my best bet is to just stay still and quiet, so you're not going to hear much from me for a few minutes, and see if I can get some birds to come in. This is a really popular place for them, so I'm confident that if I sit here long enough, wait, and quiet, I'll be able to get some nice shots. So that's what I'm going to do. So the birds that are flying around behind me making quite a bit of racket are Caspian terns. They're a relatively new arrival to the Champlain Basin, and in the past we would see maybe 1 or 2 birds around the island. I think that we've spotted as many as 20 to 25 birds. They like to sit on this exposed sandbar that's above water right now because the water level is so low. They're interesting to watch because they do dive for their food, and I've tried to get some shots of them sort of splashing in the water. I'll put a few up on the screen. None of them are amazing. It's one of those things that you have to track the bird coming out of the sky and get focus, critical focus and everything right when they splash in the water, and that's just really hard to do. It's a shot that takes time and many attempts to get. Because I'm not seeing some of the birds that I would expect on this other location that I was approaching, I am going to move further up through this marsh and see if I can get to the edge without bothering the Caspian terns and get some shots of them instead. Okay, so this is a little embarrassing. While shooting that video, I was turning my microphone on and off because the battery was dying, and I don't know whether or not it was the battery that finally kicked out, or if I just forgot to turn the mic back on, or I hit the wrong switch. I'm not sure. Either way, I have all these clips of me sitting here talking to a camera with no audio. So to summarize up this video, I was able to go and get some shots of these Caspian terns. I got one in particular, I'll throw up on the screen right now, of one tern chasing another that had a fish in its mouth, and I thought that was really great. And I've been seeing them do that all week, making quite a ruckus in the process, so it was awesome to capture an image of that. After that, I also had the opportunity to actually later in the day to go back out and capture images of a great blue heron, actually 2 of them. I went right back to the same location I was shooting this video, but in this instance I found there's one heron perched on a tree in the sort of little island treat area where the osprey nests. And so I'll throw that image up for you right now. And I really like the composition because the dead branch that the bird is sitting on sort of frames the bird itself and frames the image really nicely. And we also have the really nice plumage visible on that bird, so it was just overall a shot I was really pleased with. It's sort of a contextual environmental shot rather than a really close-up sort of portrait of the bird. I also so there's also another heron that was feeding and stalking, which was really neat. And I got a couple nice shots of them. They slowly lift their feet out of the water and then back in, and then also it actually diving its head in to catch some fish. So those are more intimate portrait type shots of these birds. So overall, I had a lot of success with this outing. I got good shots of Osprey. Throw that up on the video for you now. The Caspian terns, which you've seen, and the great blue heron, 2 different shots of them. So a good little collection of images that I'm pretty happy with. So I'll just end this by encouraging you to get out into these places where wildlife are and be quiet and methodical, and think outside of the box about how to get into these locations to take these shots. Not everyone would think about donning waders and wading through a marsh to get shots of birds. So if you have success with this, I'd love to see images and hear your thoughts in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I'll catch you later.